Emerging Trend Investing, Nanotech, Robotics, and AI. Chapter 1. Trend Trading. Watch the trends of the world. I watch trends by default because I listen to Gerald Salent with his trendsjournal.com. He's on renzaradio.com and has a YouTube channel. He tells you what's coming up, then you choose what to invest in based on that. If he says there is a war is coming, invest in military weapons. A trend trading guide. The point of trend trading is to avoid the talking heads on TV commentators, analysts, guests who are either employed in the business somewhere or are the owners of companies, because their job is to always do what's best for their own self-interest, not yours, which is to promote stocks partial to them. Even in a bear market, these people are still promoting stocks because that's the only way they make money. In bed with them are all the lower hipsters on the internet giving tips and promoting stocks for their own benefit, the pumper and dumpers as they are called. The real deal, from a day trading point of view, is to watch the money. Where is the money being spent? If you're watching the mainstream media and monitoring some stock websites in real time and all of a sudden see that the price of stock is going up because somebody is buying up lots of shares like the institutional investors and other big timers, your lot is not to question why but to buy right there and then because something is going on and you want to be part of it. This is really the essence of how the market works minute by minute on the trading floor. There is no rhyme or reason to it. It's just a fact that the players occasionally get on one bandwagon or another, and if you're there and see these big timers spend money on certain stocks, follow them, ask questions later. The other part of stock investing is the rational part where you actually look at a company and see what it owns, what it owes, what it sells, what it's really all about, but this is for long-term investing. The essence of trend trading is to buy a stock in the short term based on its upward movement, then sell it when you make a modest gain, or hold and watch it until you sense that the trend is over, then sell. You're just watching the big timers, following them, then monitoring the stock you purchased and either selling after a modest gain or holding it until you see it start to go down. As a matter of fact, if you're that deeply into it, whenever you see any of the big timers buy any stock that seems to not be doing much and possibly going down in price, you can find these figures on some stock websites and some stock TV shows. The number of shares traded, also called active stocks, the most active stocks, volume traded. Think to yourself that there must be a reason for this. If you're lazy, just watch the graphs as opposed to volume of trading. If the graph is going up, that's a good sign that it will keep going up for a while for one reason or another. They know something you don't know. After all, they are big-time investors spending lots of money, albeit other people's money, but their reputations are still on the line. They could be just reacting to hype like most other fallible people, but these guys are usually seasoned pros who live and breathe this stuff, so that's about the most educated tip you're going to get anywhere. Watch what these guys do, then follow them. Go on websites that have some kind of most active traded stocks in real-time counter. Watch it to see which stocks are currently being bought up. Combine this with a stock whose graph is going up. From a simple point of view, simply watch stock graphs throughout the day or over weeks and months. If it's a steady climb, that's a trend, and your job is to get on that trend for as long as it lasts. All stocks fluctuate a bit on the way up and down. They go up and down as they go in one main direction. Look for the overall trend, up or down. The big-time investors are so sophisticated that they don't make big purchases too quickly because that would drive the price up too fast. They buy smaller quantities, sometimes through their middlemen subsidiaries. Some of them buy a lot of stock. Watch as they see the buying hype they have just created raise the stock price up by several dollars, then sell immediately on that day a few hours later, taking their modest gain. If you watch the tickers for the most actively traded stocks, you'll soon see how the stock markets and these big timers really operate. You're just a small fry. You can't possibly influence the market, but you can follow the big timers that do. For big stocks, the only people that can influence their price are big-time investors. For big and smaller stocks, the day traders everywhere are watching the ticker in real time, and when they sniff out momentum building on any stock, they don't stop to ask why. They just buy and watch. This raises the stock price up more such that a guy or gal like you is watching, sees the trend and figures why not follow these guys for a while. There are many little things that can affect the price of a stock, such as the following factors. The quarterly earning announcements affect the prices of big stocks. The big-time traders that know a certain company will be releasing its earning announcements within about 2 weeks watch the stock price to see if the rumors are affecting it. If they see a rise, they know the word has gotten out that the earnings announcements will be favorable, so they buy the stock. Wait until the news comes out publicly, then after a few days when the hype calms down, they sell. Companies usually announce a stock split a month or two before it actually splits. The stock price will go up for a few days, then go back down to normal until about a week or two before the actual split, at which point it will start to rise again. Buy a stock about 2 weeks before the split and you will make money. It's the psychology of stock splits that makes them rise in price faster than ordinary stocks. With IPOs, there is a quiet period, which means that no company insiders can say anything about the company except for what was in the prospectus for 25 days. At about day 15, the price usually starts to rise until day 25, when everybody expects the underwriters will get on TV saying what a great company it is and everybody should buy some of its stock. When an IPO happens, the owners who own stock are not allowed to sell it until the lockup happens, which is anywhere between 6 months to 18 months. This is a rule imposed by the SEC. Smart investors anticipate that when this date comes, a lot of these owners will cash in some of their stocks and the price will go down, so they short the stock or buy an option to sell it later at the price it is today, regardless of what the price is later. Do this 10 days before the lockup date and see what's happening 5 days after the lockup, when most insiders will have sold. When a company announces a spin-off, creating another company a month or two in the future, an IPO spin-off, the price of that company's stock will usually go up right until the spin-off, then it will go down. Buy the stock after the announcement, then sell it just before the spin-off IPO. Watch as the price of the parent company goes down, then starts to go back up. Buy it back then. Things that happen within a company that gets out into the news, either good or bad, affects the price. When you see good news about a company on the news, it might not be too late to get on the bandwagon. Look it up on a stock website, then decide if it still has some momentum left to it. Movements in major stocks in any sector based on something that happened that made the news will affect the other stocks in that sector, either good or bad. When Microsoft, Dell, or Sony do something that gets them either good or bad press, their prices react accordingly and the other stocks in that sector follow. Speculation stocks are stocks that everybody is buying because they think it has future potential for massive growth but no track record to be based on. This is what most internet stocks were. Everybody thought the internet would be this massive money maker, but the truth is that it's mostly a place where nerds hang out, so it eventually tanked. But before then, everybody thought that the information superhighway was going to change life like TV did. Don't fall for stock prices rises in either individual stocks or in a sector based on speculation and not on a solid track record. At any given time, certain stocks and certain sectors are in vogue. They will have the greatest gains when momentum hits. Watch them, and when you see momentum hit, buy. Stock prices may go down at lunchtime Eastern Standard Time simply because traders go out to eat and there's less action. There is a psychological effect of zeros in the price. In a momentum run, people are more likely to sell after a stock reaches a magical price with a zero in it, like $30, $40, $50, etc. Be ready for a small dip at each of these prices as the stock is rising. Regardless of what the trend is, in a bull market the intensity gets hotter, in a bear market, the intensity goes lower. Don't be fooled by early morning gains. They often reverse themselves before lunchtime. Wait until about 10:30 in the morning. If a stock has not reversed itself by then, chances are it will increase in price for the rest of the day. It's better to make modest gains and sell than wait for the big one that might never happen. A good way is when you spot a trend, buy the stock, then put a limit order in to sell when it reaches a certain price, which will give you a modest gain without worrying about whether it will suddenly lose momentum. Do the same for a possible loss. Place a stop-loss order because if it starts going down, you don't want to lose too much, Realize when a trend ends and sell. There are no guarantees. Momentum changes abruptly based on one piece of news. Watch the news and how it relates to your stocks. True day traders buy a stock based on momentum, then watch it religiously for the next few hours to several days. Then when it looks like the trend is over, they sell quickly to take the profit and escape the possible headache. In a bull market, everybody thinks the run will last forever, so that everybody that can buy will, then there will be no one left to buy, at which point, the bear will happen. When you sense a bull market is going over the top, sell all your stocks and sit back for 2 years. Emerging Trends/Futurology. Use the following article to help you decide how to invest money. When people see other people wanting something that doesn't have a real, practical function in the world because it's made to appear cool, trendy and leading to pleasure, they soon start to want it too. Universal law of pop culture marketing. People who study society and try to predict emerging trends are sometimes called futurologists, like Faith Popcorn, Melinda Davis, and Alvin Toffler. If you know the next trend before it hits, it could help you plan a career, find a job, invest your money, start a business, run a more successful business, and otherwise use your head to figure out a way to make money from it. The following are some one-liners about what's going on in society or what probably will happen at some point in time, but nobody can predict the future. I read futurology books from before 2006. They all said oil would go up to $300 a barrel. Nobody predicted the real estate crash and depression. As a matter of fact, one book I read felt like I was in Fantasyland. It was an extremely rosy picture that only gets better and better. They said poverty and hunger would be eradicated. I guess they don't know about man's greedy, self-centered nature to get they can for themselves, exploit who they have, and screw the people dying of starvation. I don't believe man is going to help his fellow man much. If it was going to happen, it would already have been done. I see fat cats with power on one side and everybody else on the other. It's all about science and technology. A major alternative form of energy will have to come into existence soon in cars and utilities. Above all else, people want job security and financial security. Help people in these two areas and you will make money. Adventure travel. Aging population, healthcare. Aging baby boomers. Along with the high-tech world, there is a nostalgia for simpler, more conservative times. Alternative energy. Anti-aging/longevity medicine. Better space travel, live on other planets to mine them for minerals. Bionic body parts, enhanced bodies, cyborgs, part human, part machine. Biotechnology. Body organ cloning. Brain implants to control people, starting with prisoners, eventually everybody. Career change is normal and expected. Climate control. Cocooning, holing up in the house surrounded by comforts and gadgets. Computer usage is big. Computers that think like people. Concern with clean/non-toxic environment around the house. Concern with relaxation, relieving stress. Corporate downsizing, hiring of contract workers. Corporate espionage is big business. Cosmetic surgery is taking off. Dual career couples. Eco-environmental. Everything is temporary, not meant to last forever. Everything is disposable, even people. Everything takes at least several years to catch on. Personal computers were around since 1981 but didn't really catch on until around 1987. The internet is still not in most American households. Fear of being mugged, burglarized or carjacked. Fitness equipment. Gays are going mainstream. Genetic engineering of babies. Genetic predisposition testing. Globalization, smaller cultures slowing dying out to the one mass media culture. Hip-hop culture. Home as castle, place to fix up for comfort unlike the more outgoing society in the past. Identity theft, computer fraud. Individual tracking, biochip implant, can't hide. Information availability and sharing through technology are big. Interactive multimedia, using computer software with all your gadgets. It's alright to waste time or to not be ambitious in the capitalistic sense. Keeping aging people healthy and alive is big business. Less leisure time than before. Less focus on college education than skills education, actually be able to do something real. Lifetime planning is less prevalent than it used to be. Many disabled people need services. More Muslim. More women than men in the workforce. More internet sales, delivery services expand. More minorities, especially Latino. Most people are brainwashed by capitalism. They think the grass is greener elsewhere and always want more. Most people like new technology that betters their lives despite a minor backlash, such as some people saying whereas 20 years ago, there was no email or cell phones, now they have to deal with these things. Nanotechnology, manufacturing at the molecular level. Neurotechnology. No privacy, all online correspondence recorded, surveillance cameras on the streets and in most public buildings like stores. Organic foods. People generally don't stay at one workplace for life. They move around to different companies, even change careers. People want goods and services quickly. People say they resent it when they're being manipulated to buy something to conform to an image, yet everywhere I look I see colored hair, men wearing earrings and Nike logos. Despite this massive brainwashing, there is a certain element of the population that's anti to all this and purposely refuses to buy brand stuff. People want some meaning in their lives beyond just capitalist values. People want to enjoy their work. People say they want a personal life. They don't just want to be workaholics. People are looking for enlightenment, wisdom, and a sense of bliss and euphoria. They pay handsomely for good and services they think will get them closer to these things. People are relying less on government, more on themselves. People are incessant consumers, looking for happiness or at least a momentary feeling of transcendence, kinda like a kid opening his birthday presents when they go out to buy something for themselves. People want love, relationships, and social connections. People say they want more spiritual meaning, to find their authentic selves, but most will settle for a bag of chips, a bottle of hair coloring and a big screen TV. People want to feel reassured of their spiritual roots. People want an environmentally cleaner world. People want health, vitality, and longevity. People want to identify with other people who share their views. People want to create a comfortable security zone to protect them from the toughness of life. People are nostalgic for the past. People want personal connections with other people. People want luxury. People en masse are paying good money for all kinds of alternative medical treatments and all kinds of stuff to help them reach the fountain of youth. People feel they're under too much stress. They will pay for gadgets to help make their lives easier. People not marrying until 30s. People want it all and they want it now. People want simplicity and ease in the boring tasks of life, yet want stimulation in things that interest, inspire and titillate them. People don't want to be reminded of their shortcomings, so when you try to sell a wheelchair or medicine for diarrhea, don't be direct about it. Stress the positive. Lie a little. People want to feel good immediately, right here, right now. Population shift out of cities to suburbs. Robotics. Saving money. Self-knowledge and self-sufficiency are always trendy. Help people help themselves. Shift away from conventional medicine to alternative medicine. Simplicity is a new virtue. Single parents. Stem cell treatments. Sustainable living. Technology needs better education system. Teleportation, breaking a product or animal down into molecules, transporting it to another location where the molecules are reassembled. The power of people lies more in organizing into small, local groups to do things in their own community than in having faith in the federal government. The governments of democratic nations are getting more power over the people. The government is trying to control the people by overstating the threat of terrorism, which is good for the security industries. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. The field of privacy management is a growth field. There is no job security anymore. There is more apathy to mainstream politics, but people are getting more involved in causes they care about. Too much change too fast causes stress. Virtual brain, download your consciousness to a computer. We are now at a time where aging baby boomers will pay for goods and services to help keep them healthy, wealthy, good-looking and wise. What people really want is peace. Peace is a state in between happily doing nothing and happily doing things that interest and inspire you. They will pay for goods and services in these areas. Whereas in the old days, there were clear markers for status in society, nowadays, a lot of people don't care, and some are even antagonistic to people who try to display symbols of status like drive an expensive car just for the sake of show. Wireless information technology. With entertainment, you'll be able to smell, taste and feel sensations. Young people are obsessed with appearing cool to others. Try number 303.4800-4973, 306.097 to 306.3 or CB161, HF5415 and HN59.2 at the library for books about emerging trends. Books about pop culture are at number 306.00 or HM621 at the library. There could be some interesting sociology-type books from number 300-304. Books about the future of business are at number 330.971, number 658.4035 or HC115 and HD30 at the library. Books about sociology in general are at number 301.02373 or HM585 at the library. Trend investing websites. Charttrend.com, GANtrendline.com, IQtrends.com, Nexttrend.com, Electronic Communications Network/ECN, TrendTrader.com, Trendways.com, Trend-analysis.com, TrendCaps.com, TrendFund.com, TrendVest.com, Trendways.com, TrendWriter.com, Trendsoft.com, Macintosh users. Future Trends websites. What's Next is a free bi-monthly newsletter reporting about social, technical, and political trends that could be important in the future. It is written to help congressional representatives think about the future as they prepare legislation. You too can subscribe by contacting your U.S. Congressional Representative's office and asking his/her staff to place you on the newsletter's mailing list. Your Congressman. U.S. Congress. Washington, D.C. 20515. 202-224-3121. House.gov. Brandchannel.com. Digitaltrends.com. Fadmind.com. Faithpopcorn.com. Futurehorizons.net. Futureresearch.com. Futurescopes.com. fu2research.com. Futurismic.com. Gallup.com, The Gallup Poll. Globalfuturist.com. Globalidasbank.org. IFTF.org, the Institute for the Future. ImagiTrends.com. I'mKnowledgeCenter.com, Iron Mountain Knowledge Center. MassCustomization.de, type in your measurements on any clothing website and get custom clothing made. MonitoringTheFuture.org. NetFuturyInstitute.com. NewSociety.com, book the world's greatest ideas. PRB.org, Population Reference Bureau. RadicalMedia.com. TechnerATI.com/tags/trends. TrendHunter.com. TrendHunter.com. Trendio.com. Trendsguide.com. Preoccupations.org/2007/11/trend-watching.html. Trends-magazine.com. Trendwatching.com. WebTrendsLive.com. WorldWatch.org, Annual State of the World Report. Market Trends websites. There are two types of trends in stock market analysis. One is the daily trends the day traders look for. The second is the longer-term trends. If you're interested in demographics, get the Demographics magazine catalog for such books. APR.org, Public Opinion Research. BLS.gov, 202-691-7000, Labor Statistics. BrainReserve.com. CAARO.org, American Survey Research Organizations. Census.com. Census.gov/stat_abstract. coombs.anu.edu.au/resfacilities/demographypage.html. csclub.uwaterloo.ca/u/nsequan/fin/econ.html. datacenter.chas.utoronto.ca/pwt, World Economic Tables. dismal.com/regions. dismalscientist.com. easidemographics.com. econ.lsa.umich.edu/econinternet.html. economagic.com. economy.com/freelanchanged. econwpa.ustl.edu. einet.net/galaxy/social-sciences/economics.html. factfinder.census.gov. faithpopcorn.com/trends. fdic.gov/recon, regional economic conditions. ffiec.gov/nic, bank info. finweb.com. fisher.lib.virginia.edu/active_data/index.html. frbsf.org. govinfo.cur.orst.edu. harrisinteractive.com. hazelhenderson.com, futurist. hausernet.com. iadb.org, Inter-American Development Bank. ilo.org, labor statistics. marketinginsights.com, healthcare. marketingtools.com. marketresearch.com, 800-298-5699, 212-807-2716. minneapolisfed.org/bb, economic conditions. mra-net.org. American Demographics Magazine. POB 68. Ithaca, New York 14851. 607-273-6343. Demographics.com. Census Bureau. Washington, D.C. 20233. 301-457-4100. Census.gov. Chapter 2. Nanotechnology, Robotics, and AI. Nanotechnology info. Nanotechnology is manufacturing at the molecular level with very small machines. It is supposedly the emerging frontier in life and business, according to a book I read. Think of it as little live beasties that can do things they're programmed to do. Try number 658.403 or HC79 at the library. Nano.gov. AlbanyNanotech.org. Biota.org. Kurzweilai.net. Logic.nl. logic-technology.com. nano.pit.edu. nanoelectronicsplanet.com. nanotechhisfuture.com. nanotech-now.tinytechjobs.com. nanotechweb.org. Robotics/artificial intelligence. Robotics comes down to the art and science of automating the manufacturing process. They mess around with using robots to do stuff like remove landmines, but robotics is really about factory automation. Books are at number 629.892 or TJ211 at the library. AAAI.org, Association for the Advancement of Artificial Intelligence. OSIR.org.in, Robotics. Artificial Intelligence Soft TWARenews.com. Artificial Intelligence Soft TWARedirectory.com. ri.cmu.edu, Robotics Institute. NARX.com, provides artificial intelligence-based software. FirstRoboticsCanada.org. GiantRobot.com.